are you?
Yeah, I'm very good. Yep.
Thank you, everyone. Let me introduce myself. My name is Lukman Rakim, and I will be the host for today's webinar. Once again, we say thank you for participating in this webinar. I'm delighted that so many of us could make it today. Today's webinar we'll be talking about data in use encryption on Oracle and PostgreSQL. Um, okay, I will give the next session to Mr. Luki Haryadi. Pak Luk, halo.
Hello, Lukman.
Oke, Pak Luk,
Yeah.
please.
Okay, thank you, Lukman, for the opening. So before we start this webinar about the data and use encryption on Oracle and PostgreSQL, let me introduce to you all of the participants. My name is Lucky Haryadi, and I am a CTO in Equinix Business Solutions. And on this webinar also, we invite Mr. Kang Suk Chai. Hello, Mr. Kang Suk Chai. How are you? 안녕하세요.
Oh, I'm very good. Terima kasih.
Yeah, thank you. So Mr. Kan Sukchai here becomes the speaker also, and he want to talk about the solution of data in use encryption for Oracle and PostgreSQL. And as also mentioned by Lukman on this opening, that we will explain about the solution using Cube One. Yeah, Mr. Kang Sukchai comes from South Korea. Yeah, let's just open this webinar for today. So uh, we are just going about the data encryption on the Oracle and uh, PostgreSQL. So before we go to the Cube One introduction and also explanation, I want to give some ambience to all of you about what is actually the importance of the data encryption. Yeah. So what is the state of data? I think you already know that not only the performance that we have to make a high importance, yeah, but also the security of the data and how we can do how we can protect the security of the data. Okay, so in here we have three states of the data. First one is the at-rest data. What is at-rest data? At-rest data means that the data is resting. And by resting means that the data is stored in the persistent storage. And so when we want to modify the data or when we want to process the data and then we store the data, the status of the data is at rest. And then what is the other state? There is in transit. Yeah. When the streams in network or device or cable and the data is lying on the streams of the network, then it means that the data is in transit, yeah, from the persistent storage, and then will be read on the RBMS, for example. And when the data is on the stream, then the data means is in transit. And what is the data in use? Yeah, the data in use means while the data is temporarily sits on the memory. Yeah, so the stage is like from at rest to in transit, yeah, and from in transit to in use. Yeah. Then when the data is temporarily sits in the memory, then the data can be manipulated, data can be read by the memory and so on. Okay, so what are the confidential information that we should protect? Yeah, the first thing is, for example, medical record. Yeah, because everybody has their own medical record, right? And this medical record should be not or should be protected because the information is very sensitive. Yeah, and same thing also on the credit card information. Yeah, so many cases like the fraud or the abuse or the carding. Yeah, so that's why this credit card information, because credit card information will save or will store the data about our number and our CVV, and it is related directly to our finance, right, to our money. So this credit card information is also very sensitive and we have to protect it. And then, for example, the other user confidential, such as what? Like account, bank account, or the other thing that related to our money, right? So that is the confidential information that we should protect from other people, of course. Yeah. And on this database, how we can protect it? Yeah. The solution is actually encrypting. Yeah. By encrypting the data, by protecting the data, even if the other people can read the encrypted data, they cannot decrypt or they cannot read the actual information, yeah, inside the encrypted data. That is the main point or the main thing of protecting the confidential information. Okay, and how we can protect it? Yeah, there are so many types of data at rest encryption or the other thing. Yeah, like using a storage level encryption. Yeah, this is the very basic, I think, the very basic thing about the data at rest encryption, that when we store the data, then the data should be encrypted by storage level encryption by operating system. Yeah. Though if we use the database, then it is not actually related directly with the database, because database RDBMS system or RDBMS instance is acting like the software, and this database is only like storing the data to the storage, and the storage or the operating system will handle the encryptions. And then if the RDBMS want to read the data, then it will be decrypted automatically by the operating system. So that is the storage level encryption for the data at rest encryption. What is the other method? The other method is like tablespace level encryption. So usually we know as a transparent data encryption, where actually application accessing the database, and application doesn't even care about how the data is encrypted on the RDBMS. Yeah. So pretty much same actually from the storage level encryption. The difference is on the storage level encryption, it is managed by the operating system, while on tablespace encryption, because tablespace is actually created and managed by the RDBMS, then the RDBMS will manage or manipulate the encryption for the data. Yeah, so usually we consider as a TDE. And then the application level encryption. Yeah, we can achieve. Yeah, for example, in PostgreSQL, we can use a PG crypto function or using API for the crypto functions. Yeah, and then who will manage or who will do the encryption? That is from application. Yeah, so application will have the keys and will manipulate the data and will do the encryption and decryption. And this encryption data is stored to the RDBMS as an encrypted text. So actually, database only like, okay, you have the encrypted text, and then I will save it as encrypted. And the decryption and encryption is not managed by the database, but for the application. And of course, on the application, they should have a KMS, the key management system. And for example, the application already has authentication key management, right? Okay, this is for data at rest encryption. And how about the data in use encryption? Yeah, because you know that when we want to access the data from the database and from the application, actually the data will be decrypted, right? When the data is decrypted, then the data will lie on memory. And how about if we can access the memory? The other application can access the memory. Then the plain text or the plain information, all of confidential information can be gathered also, can be gained, right? So, and here we introduce about the cube one, a column level encryption. Yeah, the data is not encrypted on all of the rows or all of the columns, but we can encrypt it column by column. So that is why we call it a column level encryption. And it can also support for SSM and also has indexing on the encrypted data. I think this thing about the cube one can be explained more detail from Mr. Kang Suk Chai. And I think it would be better if we hear directly from the Cube One principal, Mr. Kang Sukchai. Please, I give the time for you to present, Mr. Kang Sukchai. Hello.
All right, thank you, Lucky.
Right. Yeah.
Yep. Mhm.
So you can share the
Uh,
screen now.
yeah, right. It's okay. Yeah. My name is yes Kang Seo. Yeah, right. This is the winter season. A little bit cold. This is
Okay.
-1 degree. Okay, yeah, right. This is very difficult situation
Mhm.
due to the coronavirus. So I hope everything is going well with you and your family against COVID-19. All right. I will start my presentation. I will give us a presentation and short demonstration.
Right. So
Right. I
as
will share my screen.
yeah. So perhaps in the middle of your presentation, if there is anyone want to ask the question, we will give some time for them to ask the questions, and I
Of
will
course,
let you know.
yes.
Yeah, I will let you know whether there are someone that I want to invite. We want to invite to give some questions, and we can do it interactively. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay, all
Yeah.
right. Uh,
Please. I
I
give
will
the
share my screen.
right.
Okay. Uh, Rukman, please turn on the screen sharing.
Okay, I've already given an access to.
All right. Okay. Uh, I will share my screen, not application. So I will for.
Okay.
Can you see my screen? The
Yes.
Cuban column. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. My product is Cuban. This product name, there is column level database encryption. E global. This is my company name, right? Right, so before going to the main body of presentation, I will share shortly. Um, this is the Oracle. I installed Oracle 11G, right? So the data are all clear text. That data you are now having, right? I did encryption for demonstration. This yeah, this card number are encrypted, but still other data are still clear, right? So we call this way is column, right? So card number column data are encrypted. So this is column level database encryption. You can choose columns which contains personal information. So you don't need to encrypt whole data, right? So there is performance and right the encryption there is the trade-off. So I will show so demonstration later on. Okay, all right. The lucky mention about what the important personal information is the before, right? You have ID card number, credit card number, bank account number, some medical record. There is very sensitive information. We should protect the sensitive information. How to do that? All right. There is systems, right? Some internet system, right? And there is many the database, right? Right? So at first, we implement some network security products, your firewall, IPS, IDS, the WAF. Some we introduced the network security products. But nowadays, hacker skills going up. So every network, every database, they attack. So there is headache, right? So we should assume my data might be leaked, even though it is protected by network security product. But hacker attack again with a new technology, new ransomware right there. So we should do the database encryption product. So you know what? Even though hackers steal the data are encrypted, it is meaningless, cannot read it, right? So it is ultimate way to protect personal information, database encryption. some regulation on the personal data protection, right? The GDPR, it is from the EU, a very strong regulation. It is affect not only EU but also other countries. If the data belong to European people, it definitely affect on the GDPR. And other countries have their each provides act, and also there are strong the regulation for the credit card numbers, the PCI DSS, right? How about your country, right? This is the personal data protection in electronic system, this government regulation, right? There is statement there is like that. Personal data stored in the electronic system must be encrypted data, right? It is the expressly noted. The other is that this is the Bank Indonesia regulation. It is not on the regulation, but elucidation, right? On that, Article 20, secret of data and information, among others, conduct through encryption to data and information of users, blah, blah, something, right? So the encryption is mentioned under regulation in your countries, right? All right, the e-government here, the Korea is very high level of IT systems, right? We have a bunch of e-government solutions, 100 solutions. There is civil service portal, e-procurement systems, home tax, blah, blah, something, something. But all services are protected by data encryption. And also the Q1 is very strong at the e-government solution, probably 70% of market share on that, right? Q1 is a premium database encryption solution. There is the characteristics are high performance, and we are very specialized for large capacity DB, the massive DB. Small DB, it is the performance is the almost same, but for massive DB, you can see the difference of performance. And we do support no downtime. We can do encrypt online. So this is a very fault tolerant structure. This is the system diagram. This is the plugin. I'm sorry. Q1, there is also software and installed in the DB server. When installed in the DB server, it will be a library of that database. If the Q1 installed in the Oracle, you can find the hundred of the Oracle library, right? On that, you can find the Q1.irib, right? So that means Q1 act, Q1 perform a part of the database. Oracle, we do support not only Oracle, but also, of course, the Postgres, DB2, SQL Server, most of database we do support. This is console controlled by secret manager. He made the policies. So what kind of encryption algorithm will be used, or to whom give a permission to access encrypt data? That kind of policy will be made by secret manager. And all the activities the contact the database table will be recorded by log management system and encrypted. All right. Okay, from now on, I will give us some strong point of Q1. Oracle is #1 database, and Oracle TDE, there is the the database encryption products. There is also #1. So I will compare to Oracle TDE, right? So I already mentioned about the column level encryption, right? There are a bunch of data, right? It is columns, right? There is the column is more than 300 something, right? I saw biggest table is the column sizes are more than 2,000. There is Samsung Electronics, a huge table, right? And there is the record is these several billion record. There is this a huge table. If you encrypt whole table, it might be problem performance, right? So you don't need to encrypt whole data. You can choose the columns which contains sensitive personal information and then encrypt. Very efficient way. Second is index search. I think this is very important, very important. There is many index search, not only match, but also lane search, like between lots of lane search are there. But what kind of data will be used for index search? That is important. Oracle TD, not only Oracle TD, other TD product is same. The volumetric TD and SQL Server TD is same. They stored data are encrypted. Mm. So there is no problem. But when load the data to memory, buffer cache, they do decryption and then load the data. So all the data are clear text in the memory and then do an index search. So they do handle all the clear data for index search. So this is data at rest encryption. That means stored data are encrypted, right? So this is very dangerous products, I think. But Q1, disk data are encrypted, right? When load the data to memory, just as it is data will be loaded. So all the data are encrypted. So in order to the index search, not only select, but also the lane search, F4 input data will be encrypted and then index search with the ciphertext. Okay. So it is, with the Eagle Cuban support, not only data last, but also data in use encryption. There is terminologies following. The data last, there is just the stored data are encrypted. Data in use, this memory data are encrypted. So all the data are encrypted uh, uh, in your system, right? Little bit difficult, but I hope you might be understand what the data in use encryption, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. The performance is also important, right? Performance going down after encryption. There's natural things, right? The make encryption, decryption. This is the overhead, right? But how to control the performance drop? That is important. We manage it under 5% after encryption. There is no problem to use the encryption. There is you feel hardly the performance drop. Okay, safe key management. Yes, key management is also important. What after encryption, the where is the key that is important? The key is in the DB table, the same data that is very dangerous one. And key is stored as a file in the DB server is also very dangerous things. The Q1, this is secret server, this is HSM, right? So key stored in the secret server and encrypted, very secured. And when operating the system, the key needed in the DB server, at the time it is located in the shared memory and modulated. So it is also a secured way to manage the key. So hardly lost data and key altogether, right? We have a secured key management system. All right, it is also important. Also, the separation and access control. We talk about hackers problem. They attack every system, right? Very headache. But to see the database leak instance. Of course, it is done by hacker, but mostly done by insider. Among the insider, this DB admin is a very dangerous thing. He is system user, so he can do everything about database. He might be leak the data. So from now on, we should control his authority, right? So only authorized user can access encrypt data and then see the clear text. If he system user, he is unauthorized user. That means he didn't get a permission from secret manager. He never accessed the encrypt data. He cannot see the clear text. His duty is just the management of the database. It doesn't need to see the all clear text, right? So this is the authority separation between DB admin, and secret admin, right? All right. We have more than thousands customers. Of course, the main sector is financial, the bank, insurance companies, but other sector, manufacturing, communication, public sector, we have, right? Sina Bank Indonesia, they use my solution, right? And Hyundai, Samsung, big company, and SK Telecom, there's number one telco in Korea, and Minister of National Defense, Minister of the Education, lots of the public sector use my solution. All right. This is the end of my presentation. Okay. Before going to the live demo, any question about my slide?
Yeah, I think we already have some questions
Okay.
about. Perhaps I would like to invite Pak Sigit, yeah, to come to the panelists. Okay, because Pak Sigit here, he has so many questions.
Oh yeah. Oh
Right?
my gosh. Very good one. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the questions is very good because he asked about most of the performance that affecting the database if we implement the Cube One. Okay, because
Hmm.
I think everybody still wondering. Okay, Mr. Kang Suk already explained about the Cube One. What is Cube One and what is actually this object and how can we implement it? Okay, so perhaps I would like to invite Pa Sigit. Yeah. Okay. Oh, already. Yeah. Hello, Pa Sigit. Hello, Pa Sigit. Can you open the camera and unmute? Hello. Okay. Perhaps while waiting Mr. Sigit to open the camera, let me check the question. Okay, the first question from Mr. Sigit is there any limitation on the hardware for the minimum requirement? And actually, this question also is asked by the other participant, Pak Biondi. He also asking about what are the minimum requirement for installing Cube One on the database server. Okay, could you please answer the question?
Uh, I will answer about it.
Yeah.
As I mentioned before, Kubernetes is so old software. It is not appliance, so it doesn't need the hardware. Just the Kubernetes installed in your DB, in your server, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, there is no the minimum requirement for installation. Uh, we do support the Unix, Unix, Linux, Windows 3 OS.
Mhm. And actually, this Cube One is only like an extension to the database, yeah, right? As a like a plugin, right? So actually, if I can add more information, that this Cube One is actually becomes a plugin for the database. So if you want to implement Cube One on the database server, is actually you are using the same requirement or the same hardware uh, resources, right? Because
Right.
another question is actually about the what can cause the degradation of database if we implement the encryption. Can you answer
Pardon?
that? What can cause the degradation, or can the DB has a degraded
You're
performance
right.
if we
The
implement?
degradation, there is, the uh, make encryption and decryption. That procedure is overhead, right?
Mhm.
The end user users do not know that their systems are encrypted or not. Just as usual, they insert the data, right? The plain text data are inserted, and then Cuban it is the plain text, and then it is the all the sensitive information already encrypted that column, right? So that data will be encrypted and then insert table. And encrypt data, there is select query. The encrypt data will be decrypted by crypto and then returned to end user. So there is the encryption decryption works. So there is the every encryption products are same.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
So as you mentioned before, also on your side that yeah, there is a slight performance impact, right, for the encryption. But when we implement the cube one, the performance impact is not really significant, right?
Okay.
Am I correct?
I saw some cache. There is caches, right? This some the Google Translate. There is the cloud.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah, right.
yeah,
I saw some crowd. Yeah, this the plugin on the your DB server. There is it is normal, but with the support crowd. So the Amazon and Azure we do support, of course, yes, right.
yeah, right. Okay, so
And
right now, Bu Indrajani has joined as the panelist. So
okay,
perhaps Ibu
other question
Indrajani,
is, are columns encrypted using PKUK? Yeah, right. This,
right?
it is possible, but you know what? It is the foreign key linked table that data. So it is not only encrypt that data, but also it is linked data should be encrypted. So it changes data, we cannot do index search, right?
Yeah,
So the mother data should be encrypted.
right.
So if that condition, we do support everything about it.
Right. Okay. Actually,
Okay.
Mr. Kasuksai, you don't have
Hmm?
to read all of the questions because we
Okay.
have
Okay.
lots of questions.
All
We
all
can
right.
answer
Okay.
it
Thank
on the
you.
Q&A session. So I'll just like conducting. So okay, I think this question we have to bring up, and we might want to discuss it in this session. So we won't read all the questions and answer the question on this
Okay.
session
I
because we
understand
still
it.
have
So.
a demonstration session, right? Okay, I'll just
Okay.
yeah, I will
You
moderate
can
the question.
mention the
Right, of course.
if needed the answer, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So
right,
you taught me, right?
right, of
All
course.
right. It is
Okay,
okay to
so
move to the demonstration.
yeah, I think a little bit more. Perhaps we already also invite Ibu Indrajani. Perhaps Ibu Indrajani, how are you? Do you want to ask some questions to Mr. Kang Suk Chai? If yes, please, you can speak up and open your camera, Ibu Indrajani. Okay, so I think Ibu Indrajani is still preparing the questions. All right. Okay, so okay, perhaps I think it would be better if we go with the demonstration first because everybody is still wondering. Okay, we already told them about the cube one and what
Okay.
is cube one actually, and I want to see what is cube one and how
Mhm.
it is working, right? And then I think everybody can, after seeing the demonstration, another questions or many more questions will come up to us.
All right.
Okay,
All right.
yeah, you can proceed the demonstration, please.
All right. I will do that. Right.
Right.
Okay. I will do screen sharing again. All right. This is Oracle, Postgres same, right? This all data are clear text, right? The data, you have one. I did the encryption for demonstration. This card number, this data are encrypted by AES 256, right? Um, This is user is Scott user. I'll do that. So I will run this query, right? Test 001. So you know what? Test 001, this data, this one, right? So I will run this query, right? All right. The current data encrypted, right? This 6CL this data are exactly same. This one, right? So this query return as it is data, right? I will run on this query. All right, you get a clear text, right? But before a card number, something added, right? xx1.dec underbar char something something, right? This DEC is decryption function, right? This is Q1 function. So card number, the data are encrypted, right? So this decryption function applied card number and then get a clear text. Very simple way, right? And I move to system user DB admin, right? So I will run this query. Of course, exactly the same data, right? As it is data, but it is encrypted. Cannot read it, right? But system user want to see the clear text with exactly the same function, right? With exactly the same decryption function, right? So I will run this query. Oh, but just encrypted. There is no clear text. Just encrypted message. He didn't get the clear text, right? Uh, so I move to. This is Cuban manager, the Cuban admin control, this manage console. I made the altogether, the DB, I installed the DB server on top of VMware, and also I installed the Cuban manager console, right? This is the for Windows PC. So this Q1 manager control for the access control, right? To see there is user pool, there's available user, there are many available users. These users are mounted on the database, right? So this is system user are there here, right? But right side, SCAD and test, only two users are here. So SCAD and test, two users are authorized user, can select it. But left side, including system user, all users are unauthorized user. So system user cannot see the clear text. This is the access control, right? But sometimes the system user should see the clear text, right? At the time, he proposed to temporary permission to security manager. So security manager, yeah, add the system user, right? So okay, and this is policy. Policy was changed, so the policy should synchronize from manager PC to database. Okay, I will do that. Oh, it is successfully done. So I will run again this one, right? This is system user. I will run again. All right. System user can see the clear text, right? Just before he get the permission from security manager. All right, time is gone. So the security manager removed the system user, removed, right? Removed and synchronize again. All right, it is successfully, right? I will run again. I will run again. Okay, encrypted, just message. This is temporary permission from security manager, right? So this access control, not only by user, so we can control DBA, right? But also IP MAC, the machine application. So we do access control all of things, IP MAC, some system application, we can do it, right? This is the access control. Okay, understanding? I will, I hope still okay. I will do initial encryption, right? So before you saw it, right? So this is the encryption, the applied, right? I will do that. So test 003, all the data are clear text, right? I will pick the data, this one, 4177, I will pick, and then just, I will pick one, right? And I will do encrypt the test 003. Okay, so manager, encryption manager, connect to DB, right? And select schema. I will pick the Scott, right? Okay. You can see some icon, right? Test 001. This the icon. That means test 001 table are encrypted, and card number there is icon, right? Card number column there is encrypted. That means, right? So test 003 there is no icon, right? So from now on, I will encrypt test 003. Okay. Click the encrypt icon, right? And I will encrypt the card number, the column, right? Just double click and pop up some items. I will implement AES-256, right? I'll just message this char number. I click one advanced index, right? And just as it is, okay. There is many options, but default is no problem. It is time to explain more later, right? Just next. There is the view type, the automatically recommended, right? And some there is the function. There is the properties. There is the original cable property. We use the same ones. So just next is okay, and it execute immediately. Just execute. All right, it is started. It is started progress 2. Okay, 100. It is very small table, so already done, right? So, okay, I will do refresh, right? And then, all right, refresh again, this one. All right, you can find it. Some icon pop up, test 03 and card number. So test 03 encrypt table, encrypted, and the card number that is encrypted, just this is message. We can check it with a toad. I will refresh again this one. All right, the test 03, okay, the card number data are encrypted. So we will check it, right? All right, I will change to this is the test 03, right? All right. All right, this is the encrypted data, right? And this is test, I'll change test 003. All right, we can get it. 4177, it is exactly the same, right? 4177, right? This is same data, right? Just before we encrypt, right?
Yeah.
And we change to system user, same thing. We change 003, all right? It is the encrypt data, same one. And test 03, aha, just encrypted, right? So we did initial encryption, right? If you're gonna buy the Q1, the records data, the plaintext, all the data plaintext. After that, install the Q1 and then the applied the encryption. That is that procedure, right? So we call this is initial encryption. Still okay? After encryption, yeah, right. There is normal work will do, right? So the insert data, right? So test 003, we did encryption, right? I will check the number 200. All right, there is no data, right? No data. So I insert data custom number 200, all right, number 200, and 1 2 3 4 5 or 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 blah blah. This data encrypted, the insert, but make encryption and then encrypt, right? So I will run this query. All right, one law inserted, right? So we find it. So all right. So this data encrypted and then insert data in the table, right? So we check it. This data first number. All right. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Right. Just before we insert data, right? So and then we can check it, right? How about system user? How about system user? I did not change it, but okay. This is 3, right? Okay. System user. Oh my gosh. Not sure. Something happened. I'm sorry. Anyway, no data for system user. I'll check it later on. All right. Just before we did the insert procedure. So plain text will be inserted and then automatically encrypted and then insert data on the table, right?
Right.
This is the insert procedure. Okay. And then I will check the range search. Um, this is one. This is the this is like search, right? And this is the between search. Okay. We will do between 4 and 5. At first, I will run this query, but there's no encryption decryption function. But you can find some the clear text, right? This is the we utilize view trigger, so there is no encryption function, but we can do it. So actually, this is a normal thing is that like this one. Right. To the between search, the four, this plain text will be encrypted, and then 5 will be encrypted, and then between search, right? This is the regular index search. I will run again. This is same function, right? This is same result. So this result is the same as this one, right? So we can check it the plane, right? This is not a full table scan. This is domain index, right? It's gonna be a domain index, right? So we utilize all the encrypt data for between index. This is same. This is the like, right? This is on the you can find it, right? Okay, same one is this one. This is the this data will be encrypted and then do a like search, right? So this is same result. This is also plain is the index scan, right? It is not a full table scan. So there's all the data in the memory are encrypted. As I mentioned before, that is, the data in use encryption.
Right.
All right.
So okay, so perhaps
Okay. This is the live demonstration.
yeah.
We can get some question
So
if
we
there's
have
unclear things.
yeah we have many questions here.
Okay.
So I think the first one I want to mention is what kind of data types that are supported to be encrypted with this cube one, and is there any limitation for the data size that we can encrypt or decrypt? This questions comes from Pak Iswadi Ahmad. So please answer it.
We do support most of database, as I mentioned before, Oracle, DB2, SQL Server, Postgre, not only OLTP, but also the Teradata, Sybase IQ, the OLAB, we do support. And there is no constraint of data size, right? The, several hundred million, no problem. Yes, the several billion record, no problem.
So actually, like for example, we can encrypt the integer type data and the string type data, right? I mean, the data types means like, okay,
Yeah,
I
data
have
type. Yeah, but we do support most of data type. Yeah, right. BRAP, CRAP, image data, no
right,
problem.
right,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and there's no like, for example, for this column, we can only encrypt the data for a maximum only like 4,000 bytes, right? Because there's no limitation on how many data we can encrypt.
There is not my limitation. There is database limitation.
Okay, right,
If the data we can encrypt,
right.
right?
Okay, yeah. I think that is the answer for Pak Iswadi Ahmad questions. And another question is coming from Pak Biondi. So this Pak Biondi also still asking about, okay, suppose because this is related on how we can install the Cube One plugin to our database, right? So it is there is no problem if on-premise database, right? Because we can access the operating system, and how
Mm-hmm.
we can install Cube One plugin to the database that is stored on like the Amazon Web Service or
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
using like RDS.
Yeah, there is some constraint. Use a plugin in the cloud, right? Everybody already know it, right? The plugin means install the software on the server, right? That means we can access the server, right? So if the borrow the whole server, EC2 or something, right, on the server, yeah, on the cloud, we can use this server like on premise. At the time, we can the install Cuban on a plugin on this server in the cloud. But sometimes the company borrowed a part of a server, right? Shared server, right? Not whole server, right? So that means we do not control. We cannot access the server. That means we cannot install Cuban plugin on the server. So at the time we applied Cuban API, right? Cuban API installed web server, WAS server, right? So that is the customer have the WAS server, right? The Cuban API installed in the that WAS server, and then so the encryption work done by this operating server, and then encrypt data will be stored in the cloud. The data from the cloud, go to the WAS server. There is the encrypt data, and then decrypted by WAS with the Cuban API, and then return to end user. So that procedure.
Okay, perhaps Pak Biondi, do you still have questions? I think we can invite Pak Biondi to come to the panelist. Hello, Pak Yondi. Can you open the camera, please? And you can ask directly to Mr. Kang Chai. Hello, Pak Yondi.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, hello, Pak Yondi.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you still have the questions?
Yeah,
that-
yeah.
Yeah.
I think the Mr. Chai already answered my question.
Mhm.
So in the cloud we have to use called Cube One API, yeah, installed on another compute server. So we have to use the Cube One API installed on another compute server. Then from our database, well, we send the encrypted data to that server. Is it correct?
Your data is in the cloud.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Yeah, yes. Exactly. The application for cloud, there is two things, right? You download the whole server, right?
Yes.
So at the time we can install Cuba on the server. We can utilize the plugin, right? But
Yeah,
you
yeah.
download only a part of server. You are now sharing the server with other companies, right? We can access whole server, right? So at the time, the Cuban installed in the one server in your company, and
Mm.
then yeah, right, make encryption decryption work in the one server,
You mean
and
was
then
what?
send to
Sorry. You mean was the web application server, right?
operating server, right? Operating server.
Oh, okay, okay.
Hmm.
Yeah. So we installed the Cube One API on that WAS server. So
Yeah, well,
from that WAS server, we'll get we'll process the encrypted data there from the database in cloud, right? Is it correct?
yeah, yeah, exactly. The end user send to data, right? To the operating server, right? So that data encrypted, and then encrypt data sent to cloud. From the
Mm.
select query, the encrypt data from the cloud sent to operating server, and then
Ah,
make a decryption, and then send to end user. That is
I see, I see.
that. Okay, yeah.
Okay, okay. I understand now.
Okay.
Before I just cannot imagine how to install this plugin because we cannot touch the operating system.
Uh-huh.
But if we have to install the API on the WAS server, yeah, it's okay.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Chan.
Yeah, I think the answer is already clear, ya, Pak Yondi.
Ya, terima
Okay.
kasih.
Thank you. And then I would like also to invite Mr. Muhammad Fauzi. He asked very interesting questions.
Gue
Perhaps
gak mau deh gue di invite gue
belum di mute Pak Yondi.
gara-gara nanya.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Muhammad Fauzi already joined as a panelist. Could you please open the camera and we can discuss about the questions you post on the Q&A. Hello, Mr. Muhammad Fauzi. Yeah, please go ahead.
Stop my video. Can you guys hear me? Sorry.
Yeah, we can hear you, but we don't see you.
Actually, all right. Because I would prefer not to start the video.
Okay.
Okay. I think I've seen you before in one of the webinar, right? Talking about you call sort of like a TDE, but you guys are using sort of a column piece of encryption, and I've already have implementation of a Postgres TDE in a Dockerized environment, as well as connection pooler, and also a backup. Right, it's in version 12, if I'm not mistaken. So I would like to know your Cube One's implementation comparable to cluster-wide transparent data encryption. All right. We have also implemented a PG crypto, but as you know, PG crypto will require a significant changes to the development team. how they call function and things like that. So for the TDE is basically encrypted on a cluster wide. We also have an anonymizer and also a file system, Linux file system encryption. So we have a couple of data encryption in place. So yours one is very interesting, right? Because it's different from the one that we have implemented on a production scale, right? So I'm very keen on how's your implementation details, and maybe you could talk about the pros and cons and the differences between each of the implementation and yours, because this is the first time that I've heard the column like encryption similar to cluster wide to Linux file system encryption and things like that. I think that's all my question.
Okay,
It's a very generic and very broad question.
Right. Thank you, Pak Muhammad Fauzi. So perhaps let me try to elaborate more about the cluster-wide TDE. So by cluster-wide TDE, do you mean that you have multiple instances and you do the TDE through that multiple instances?
It's when you initialize it through the initdb, right? And then
Okay.
yes, and then you will assign the key. So I think KMS is practically everywhere. The key management system is the moment when you initdb and then with a particular key. Okay, that's the cluster wide.
Okay.
Right?
So
Yeah.
by cluster-wide, you mean the instances, yeah? So
Yes,
one
the
data
instance.
right?
Correct. With one
Right.
port, one
Yeah,
probably
One
multiple
instance.
databases inside the instance. Yes, correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all.
So
Thank you.
yeah, thank you. I give time for Mr. Kasuk Chai.
Okay, yeah, I already mentioned about the what is TD and what is the column level. So there is the pros and cons, right? I will summarize it. Before that, the Postgres TDE, it is newly introduced, right? So the lucky
Yes, correct.
you're right. I think so. So it support the access control for DBA or not?
It's basically the same like encrypting the whole chunk. But as I mentioned, right, we do have the implementation of whole Linux file system encryption. So basically, but this is on a cluster. So on a data file that is inside the cluster that's only being encrypted, and the other files inside the file system is not being encrypted. So as I mentioned previously, is a cluster-wide encryption only.
Okay, it is the file-level encryption, right?
And
So
I know that
similar to biometric. Tell us biometric, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
All right. So it is the everything has the trade-off, the pros and cons, right? So definitely the cube and column level data encryptions. The strong point is that all the data are encrypted, right? So data in use supported. That is the most strong point. The every TD is same, Postgres TD is same. They protect only stored data. So data is less, data encrypted. But when load the data to memory, buffer cache, right? All the data are clear text after the make a decryption and then load the data to buffer cache. So all the TD product cannot protect so memory data, right? So that means just think about it. The stored data, disk data are protected. So it is not protected by hacker, but a thief. Thief, they go to your ID center and then take the hard disk. At the time, it is safe. But when operating system, when running the query, right? So all the data should be loaded on the buffer cache, right? But all the data clear text. Before encryption, okay, I understand it. it is the old clear text. But after encryption, nothing changed. Only so the data are encrypted, but the on the buffer cache data are clear text after encryption. Before and after, nothing changed for usage environment. That is a very big dangerous things. The pros and cons, you are right. And in terms of the access control, right? Some product can do access control among the TDE, but I'm not sure Postgres TDE can support access control for the DBA. I'm not sure, but it is very important thing, right? We should from now on we should do also the separation from the between the DBA and the secret admin. So you know what uh, every the data are encrypted, but any database user can see the clear text. It is meaningless, right? So it should be applied for access control.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah. For
And
the
in
answer.
terms of performance, okay, you know what the TD encrypt whole file level data, right? Oh, some whole table space level something. The data are encrypted, right?
Oh, yes, the whole
So you know
cluster.
what it is hardly compared apple to apple performance, right? Because you know what I the experienced many BMTs, but it is very the controversial because you know what the running the you know query the other some product TD already decrypt the data beside and then running the query, right? So the you know the apple to apple performance comparison is a little bit difficult. But you know what? The in common thing is that you know what, billion data are encrypted, and then they do decrypt block level on the buffer cache, and then the processing the queries. So there is the TDE. My product is the column level. Only some columns which contains personal information will be recorded. Other are still the plain text, right? Right. So it is the right performance thought, right? Okay.
Okay. So here also with us join Pak Julianto Sutandang. Perhaps Pak Jul, you might want to add another opinion about the question, Pak. Please, Pak.
Okay, thank you, Luke. Hi, Mr. Chai. Hi, Pak.
Oh, Julian,
Fauzi.
yeah, right.
Let me help you to explain the Cuban to Pak Fauzi.
Terima kasih,
Um,
Pak.
yeah. So maybe we have already heard that TDE. Sorry, Cube1 is column level, and Cube1 has data in use encryption, Pak Fauzi. I think it is the best thing that we can have up to now is having the data in use encryption, which is we don't see it in any kind of other technology like provided by Oracle or any others vendors. So that's maybe we should consider well, since actually I'm so amazed actually when I see that he can this kind of technology can encrypt and also in the same time to be searched. Maybe you have to try it, Pak Fauzi, and we can give you a trial for sure, no problem.
Sure, no problem.
Yes, and the second thing is I think because it is not transparent, and that's mean we are not using all the capacity of CPU to encrypt and decrypt the data. So maybe it's more efficient because usually we don't encrypt all of the data, right? So we only encrypt the one that very confidential. That's maybe the second thing. So we can save CPU. And the third one is I don't know CyberTech has a communication or connection to the SSM, since we know that security has to be end to end, and it's mean we should use something like SSM in like for banking, something like that. And I see that Cube1 can enable SSM, Pak. using Thales or anything kind of SSM. So maybe that's my additional information for you. Hopefully, it is can become your solution. Thank you.
Thank you, Pak Julianto. I think, is it already answering your questions, Mr. Fauzi?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, and then I would like also to invite Pak Winto. Yeah, I think Pak Winto also from Surabaya and has a very interesting
Uh,
questions.
Wait a minute, look.
Okay, sorry. Yeah.
The one that we already said to Pak Fauzi that we will give a trial. So maybe we can what is mention also to Mr. Chai that perhaps Mr. Chai himself can introduce to any kind of any company who like to try or to do POC. We can help with the trial.
Yes, that would be great. Thank you again, Pak.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Pak. Okay, and for the next question, Pak Winto, you can ask directly to Mr. Kang Suk Chai. Would you please open the camera, Pak? Hello, Pak Winto. Okay, I think I'll just read the question from Pak Winto. So Pak Winto here asking about, because there are two types of data encryption. There is symmetric and also asymmetric. So which one of those two methods of encryption that are more easy, fast, and user friendly, but still with high security level? Because on the production side, on his company, he has a very huge amount of data which are sensitive and that should be accessible by specific group of people. So the questions is about what is the easy way to encrypt the data? Is it symmetric or asymmetric? What do you think?
Okay.
Mr. Kangso?
Oh, yeah, right.
Uh-huh.
It is highly recommended to use asymmetric encryption algorithm for data itself. There is the AES, the key length is 256 over is recommended, triple S, or one way is SHA. There is the unsymmetric the encryption algorithm for plug algorithm will be used for data itself. And symmetric encryption algorithm, there is RSA in terms of the RSA. There is for communication between the secret manager to DB, right? Because so there is usually use the symmetric encryption algorithm to send the encryption decryption key information, right? So it is the public key and private key, the process it will be used, right? So that is two things, right? So in short, right, for the database encryption, asymmetric. It is not symmetric encryption algorithm used. Unsymmetric encryption algorithm will be used.
Right. Okay. Thank you very much. Perhaps do you have any other opinion, Pak Winto? Yeah, I think okay. If there is no other question. Oh yeah. Also related to previous question, Mr. Kang Suk Chai, you
Yep.
can tell to the participant that if there is someone who might want to uh, try the Cube One, then you can give them trial version or something else. Perhaps you can say it to the participant.
Yeah, of course. I will support the trial, right?
Yeah.
I will give a trial lesson for any participant.
Yeah, and
Of
Equinix
course,
also.
you can follow up, right?
Yeah, yeah. Of course, Equinix also will do that, and we'll have to do the POC about Cube One. Okay. Yeah, and we go to the next question from I think Pak Masyum. you have multiple questions here about the performance. Yeah, I think could we invite Pak Mashum? Okay, hello Pak Mashum, how are you? Have Pak Mashum join us?
Hello.
Hello, yeah. Could you please open the camera?
Uh,
Right. Okay, Pak Mashum. I think you have several questions you can ask directly to Mr. Kansu. Please go ahead.
okay. First question about performance. When in performance encrypted data sorting, how can the Group One feature ensure security as well as simplify and speed up the data searching process if you don't need a data description process?
Yeah.
Okay, one question. All right. The performance, right? The two things here, right? The security and speed. We got two rabbit, right?
Yes.
So security. That is, as I mentioned before, Cuban support the data news. So all the data in the memory, all the data in the memory are encrypted, right? And how to make a speed. So there is, we have a encrypt index as well. Encrypt index as well. So we utilize the for index search, not only match, but also all the lane search, we utilize encrypted index as well. So we do a very speedy index search.
Okay. So yeah.
Okay.
So,
Second question about level inscription. How is the level of the data inscription in PostgreSQL able to offer flexibility in protecting database abuse of authority by database administrator, and from insecure computer networks? And what makes it equal or better than Oracle? Thank you.
okay, so for this question, I think I will try to answer also, Pak Mashum. So on PostgreSQL, actually, we can like enabling the PG crypto, PG crypto extensions, right?
Okay, PG Crypto, yeah.
Right. This PG crypto having such functions to do encryption, yeah, to do encryption and also hashing for the data, and then we can store the data, the encrypted data to the PostgreSQL instance. Okay. And the other thing is that Postgres also has like, in terms of security, Postgres has like row level security. So this row level security also will manage the authorization of who can access my data, right? So for example, like this, I have one table. This table is storing the data from multiple regions, and then some manager from each region want to access the data, right? So when the manager from Jakarta region or the manager from West Java region want to access the table on the same table, we can enable the row level security, right? So not only encryption of the data that is supported by PostgreSQL, but also the authorization of the data itself. So that is why, suppose you have a DBA, right? We can enable the row level security, or we can disable the privileges from the DBA to access the data. So we can combine between the encryption and also the access or the authorization to the users that want to access the data. And the other thing also, the thing that Cube One, yeah, the other thing is the Cube One implementation can enable, like on the demonstration before from Mr. Kasuche, that we can enable the access from each user, yeah, from Cube One. Suppose, for example, we store the data an encrypted way, yeah, with user A. Okay, so only user A can open the data and read the plain text and do the decryption. But if we don't give access to the other user to decrypt the data, then the plain text cannot be decrypted at all. So this one also is supported by Coupon both on Postgres and Oracle. That
Okay.
correct, Mr. Kansuchai?
Of course, yes.
Yeah.
Overall, I think Kibon is very good. Can't wait to try to demo.
Yeah, we can help you to
Okay,
do the
thank you very much.
right. Thank you. Do you have any other questions, Pak Mashum?
No, no.
Okay, thank you very much for your questions. Okay, and let me check the other questions. So perhaps I would like to invite Pak Yogi, Pak Yogi Prayogo. Can we invite it? Okay. Hello, Pak Yogi. You you can ask the questions. Okay. Hello, Pak Yogi. Okay. So perhaps question from Pak Yogi is, suppose there is an update available for Cube1 plugin. Okay. So how can we update the plugin safely? Because we don't need to restart the database at all, right? And does the Cube1 Manager also available for Unix OS? Perhaps you can answer, Mr. Kangsu.
Kubernetes Manager only available for the Windows, I'm sorry. It is the Windows PC, the control, right? And what is first question?
First question is, if there is some updates available for the Cube1 plugin, how can
Update for the, what kind of update? The update for database or update for Kubernetes?
update of Cube1 of the
Uh-huh.
Cube1 plugin?
Uh-huh.
Perhaps Pak Yogi, I think you open the voice. You can
Yeah, I'm
answer.
sorry. I
Yeah.
just have to go to the restroom.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I wonder if later on there is an update for the Cuban manager. Uh, how is going to be delivered? Is it going to be the over the air, or there will be another source that we can compile later on or something?
I think the update for Kubernetes Manager means the some patch, right?
Yeah, some patch.
It is the patch procedure is very simple. It is the QA manager is it is. I will send after installation. There is some patch. I will send the patch file, right?
Ah, I see.
And there is some directory. The patch the QA manager are there. So change the original the Cuban to old something, and it is the unactivated, and then I will send the new patch file. It is changed to the delete the extension. It is changed to the Cuban the execution file, right? So that's it. That
Okay,
is simple patch procedure.
I see.
Change the file is done.
I see. And how about the plugin itself? If we have already installed the Cuban plugin, a
Mhm.
Cuban plugin, and later if there's some patch as well, how is it the same way to deliver it as the Kubernetes manager patch, or we can?
Yep.
Oh, I see.
Basically same. If it is not major change, it is the small patch that is, it is the small procedure, right? But you know what, the Cuban currently this is the version is 2.5, but the already the 10 years old, so it is the already mature. So I think there is no major changes on that.
Okay, okay, thank you. And uh, well, I actually wish that. Is there any plan to support the Unix system as well? Because uh, there are a lot of Unix-based server as well that use the relational database.
Unix for Cuban manager.
Yes.
Uh,
Is
that
there any
means
plan to?
Cuban manager control to the database
Yeah,
and make some policies with the Unix terminal.
like perhaps there is some like command line interface for Cube1 manager. So it is the alternative of the QI of the GUI, the alternative. So we can like usually when we deploy the Unix server, we rarely use the user interface, right? We often use the terminal, only terminal. And is there any plan for the Cube One
I will
to
talk
So-
develop
with
that?
the laboratory.
So-
Q1 software support a Q1 plugin or API. They support Linux, Unix, Windows as well. But the Q1 manager is just there is the Q1 manager PC. So currently we only support Windows, but Unix terminal is commonly used in the Indonesia. I will talk
So
with the
perhaps
laboratory.
Yeah,
perhaps I would like to add some information. So actually, this Cube1 Manager is only like GUI terminal for managing, because actually the Cube1 will work directly on the server, like when you want to install it on the Unix or Linux or something else. But so this Cube1 Manager only just for managing at the first time, and like resynchronizing the policy. For example, like this. Okay, I want to add the user, and then this user is able to decrypt the data, and then I would like, for example, like want to use what method of encryption, like SSH or MD5 or the other levels. So this Cube1 Manager is actually only for managing tools. Okay, so after you manage the tools, then you can synchronize the policy and it will work on the server, whatever OS.
oh, I see.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, at the first I thought that I also need to install the Cube One Manager to the server as well. Sorry.
Oh, no. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Because so there's no problem with production system at all, because you can like install the Cube One Manager on your laptop, and then you manage everything. Then you
Yeah.
synchronize the policy to the server.
Okay.
All
Got
right,
it.
that's great.
But
Right.
I think it's also will be nice if the Cube One Manager also work on the Ubuntu desktop, like so for example, because sometimes we also use Ubuntu for our workstation.
Right.
Okay, thank
you
you.
can manage it using like
Thank you.
Wine. Right.
That's okay. That's all from me. Thank you.
I think you still have one question, Pak Yogi, about does Cube One support relational DB only or also
Oh,
support
yeah.
non-relational
I forgot.
DB as well? Because this question also asked by other participant as well.
I see.
Okay. As I mentioned before, we have two products actually, Q1 plugin and Q1 API. Q1 plugin means installed in the that DB server, right? So the Q1 plugin support RDBMS, but the for the other the Hadoop data, right? We do support with the Q1 API. Right. So API means installed in the Q1 on the offline server, web server. So it is independent to database, right? So that kind of things.
Right. Okay, Pak Yogi, you still have questions? If you still have questions, perhaps you can open the camera also.
No, I
So-
don't. I'm sorry. I cannot open my camera because I currently work from my home and it's a quite it's a bit messy.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
well-
enough from me. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very
From what
much.
from what company? Perhaps, pardon Pak Yogi.
Gimana?
Dari mana Pak? Dari perusahaan apa Pak? What institution?
Oh, right now I'm working for Ruang Guru.
Oh, Ruang Guru.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it, Pak.
Thank you. Thank you for the answer.
Okay, thank you, Pak.
Thank you. Terima kasih.
And we still have around 14 minutes to answer the questions. And okay, so Pak Sigit. Okay, Pak Sigit here. I think have we invite Pak Sigit? Sigit, Pak Sigit, YN. Okay, halo Pak Sigit. Have you invited? Oh, I think Pak Sigit already left. Yeah. Okay, that is fine. Okay, another question is coming from Pak Yuma ya, Pak Yuma Rafi. Can we invite Pak Yuma? Huh? Okay, Pak Yuma already left. The question is actually when we got an error in the data, which is stored by using the encrypted data, can we directly delete it or we should do several things? Yeah, for this question, I think we can delete it directly, right? We don't have to do anything related to the encryption, right, Mr. Kang Suk Chai?
Right. The using this query, there is nothing changes. And especially for end user, they didn't know the data are encrypted or not.
Right. And related to that question, I think there's another question coming from Pak Sigit Setio Basuki, ya. Can we invite Pak Sigit Setio Basuki?
Already
Hello?
invited.
Okay. Halo Pak Sigit. Halo Pak Sigit Setio.
Halo, Pak Luki.
Hello. Can you please open the camera? Okay.
Halo, Mr. Chai.
Yeah. So yeah, you can ask directly to Mr. Chai.
Hello, Mr. Chai. I'm from KB FMF in Indonesia.
Hi.
Kukmin Bank, maybe Kukmin Bank. My question is, let's say we have application that already go live in production, and then we want to make a change to encrypt the data. Do we have to make modification to our code, or how we connect the application to Kube1 manager? Hello, Mr. Chai.
Hello, Mr. Chai.
Hello.
Yeah, I think the question is actually about do we have to change our codes, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
if we have already live application in production.
Yeah. If we already go production with the application and we want to install Kube1 and implement the encryption, do we have to change all the codes, Mr. Chai?
Yeah, right. For the production, implement Kube1 on the production. So some code should be changed, right? So there is for the DMLs, 4 DMLs, insert, delete, update, right? So for DML, the query it should be modified with the applied function. So there is constraint for Kube1 using.
Okay, so how we configure the application to use Kube1 manager?
I think
What does
Kube1
mean?
manager. Okay, let me help to answer. Kube1 manager doesn't have anything related to the application, Pak. So this Kube1 manager is like only to create the policy. For example, okay, I want to create a policy with SSH 256 encryption, and then I want to implement it on which server. Okay, so this Kube1 manager is only like a manager or GUI tools that synchronizing the policy and managing the access list for the users. So yeah, after we manage it and then we synchronize to the server, then it will work in standalone mode. So it doesn't have relation to the Kube1 manager.
Okay, I understand. So we have to, if we have already application in production, we have to make change in our query, and then make sure the user is granted to Kube1 manager.
Exactly, right.
Okay.
Kube1, this database encryption products, right? It is not related to application, right? So we cannot control the application user. So in the application program, the application user should should use a DB user to connect the two user database, right? So application user and DB user are matching in the application program. So if you want to clarify the differentiate the application user grant, it is you can change the some program in the application. So Q1 make a permission for each DB user.
I see.
So
Okay.
you can match the application user to DB user, something.
Understood. Okay. Another one is Cube1 manager using token to encrypt the data. Is it correct? Use token or key? No.
We do not use.
Okay, I think he's disconnected. So on the actually on the cube one, yeah, there is a key management because this key management is for decrypting the data, right? So that is why also from cube one manager, this cube one manager will synchronize not only the policy but also the key to the server.
To the database server. It is managed by security team.
Sorry,
managed by security team. We have to input the token manually, or it is managed by Cube1.
Oh, that is managed by Cube1.
Oh, okay, I see. Thank you.
So that's why the decryption and encryption process on Cube1 plugin will calculate it based on the key on the server, right? So that is that is the important thing for the Cube1 manager is only to synchronize all the configuration and also the key to the server.
Clear. Thank you, Mr. Luki, Mr. Chai.
Yeah, thank you, Pak Sigit. Okay, I think the questions, the answer also answer questions from Pak Dapi Chandra ya about the using AWRDS and also about the need of revising the application code. And also the other question from Pak Nur Chandra, I think already answered also on previous questions about the no SQL concept. Yeah, because Cube1 has a API, Cube1 API, and also has the Cube1 plugin which can be implemented on the RDBMS. And the other thing is from Pak Alif. From Pak Alif here asking about the. I think Mr. Chai still disconnected. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. Okay.
The network is not good.
Okay.
I'm again.
Right, that is fine. So I already answered Pak
thank you.
about the key. The key
thank you
managed by Cube1.
Mm-hmm.
So this key is synchronized from Cube1 manager to the servers, right? And the server will use this key to do encryption and decryption process on the server. Is that correct? Right. Okay, and I think the other question is how much is the storage space expanded after we do encryption? Because there is a process, the initial process, right? After we do the initial process and then the data is all encrypted, is there any storage space extended?
Right, after encryption, the data size a little bit increased, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is, but depends on the situation. I'm not saying exactly, but usually there is the 30% increase.
30% increase.
Yeah.
Okay. That is the average, yeah, on all of
the average. Yeah.
Right. And what is the dependency of the storage increase? Is it like for data types, or another things perhaps might be the factor of the storage?
Yeah, data type. Yeah.
Data types. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So yeah.
I'm sorry. Before there is a question regarding the license type, the pricing scam, right?
Okay. Yeah, please go ahead, Lukman.
Okay, let me explain a little bit about the price scam. It is a perpetual license, and there are yearly technical support, which worth 15%, and the price based on the number of core. But if you want to know more about this pricing scam, please send the question into our email at marketing@iconic.asia for further information.
Okay. Thank you, Lukman.
Okay, thank you.
So we have other questions actually from Pak Yanuar. Pak Yanuar, perhaps this question is more like to how we optimize the performance, yeah. And I think we can answer it in separate session. And the last questions I think is coming from Pak Alif. Pak Alif, can we invite Pak Alif? Is there Pak Alif? Mhm. Already left? Oh, okay. Oh, no, no, Pak Alif. Alif, why? Pak Alif, I think already left. Yeah. So he asking about how long does it take for initial encryption construction process?
Just the initial encryption, depends on the size, but just before a small table is the within 10 seconds, right? Big data, right? It will take sometimes 1 or 2 hours more than, but implemented just initial encryption, the in order to implement Q1, we should test all of things because this is database encryption procedure. So before going to the production, we make some test server environment and then test many things. After that, everything is okay, and then we go to the production. So it will take something, right?
Okay, got it. Thank you. I think that is all from the question and answer. So from we still have 15, 50 more participants here. Do you still have any questions? If you have questions, please raise your hand and we can invite you also to the panelists. Is there still any questions before we close the session? And I give back to Lukman. Okay, I think that is all from. Okay, so I think that is all from the questions. Yeah, we already answered all of the questions, and right now I think we can close the material session. Yeah,
Okay.
and I will give it back to Lukman.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr.
And
Chai.
Mr.
Thank you.
Chai. But
Thank
go
you.
anywhere first because we have a photo sessions. So it is represented by all the panelists here. Okay, please, all the panelists, could you open the camera? Wait, wait a minute. Pak Winto, please. Ibu Indrayani, Pak Yogi, Mbak Nana, could you please open the camera, please? Okay, wait a minute. Ibu Indrayani, Pak Yogi. Okay, let's take a picture. 1, 2, 3. Okay, wait, I'll save it first. Okay, how about once again? Okay, once again, right? 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you so much. Or maybe Lucky or Mr. Chai, do you have any closing statement or anything else before?
Yeah, I think you are muted, Mr. Chai. You are muted. Hello, hello, Mr.
Hello,
Chai.
Mr. Chai. You are
muted.
All right, thank you. Yeah, today.
Okay,
okay.
I think he's disconnected again.
Okay, please
Okay.
wait. Mungkin Pak Lucky, you
Okay,
have
so so for today's webinar is a very interesting one because we're talking about the how we can encrypt the data, and there are so many interests coming from the participants. So as I mentioned before, and also Mr. Chao mentioned before, if the participants, any one of you want to try Cube One and want to know more about Cube One, you can ask to us, and we can help you to do the POC or trial. And the other thing is that this encryption thing is a very important thing, especially for the production data, because suppose you have very sensitive data like customers' data, you might want to consider about encrypting your data and protecting your data from the unauthorized access. Okay.
I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
you can.
The network is not so good.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, thank you very much. Terima kasih. Terima kasih.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. I think that's all from us. I give back to Lukman, please.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chai. Thank you, Mr. Lucky. Pak Lucky, thank you so much. Okay, I am back again, and please don't go anywhere because we have another interesting agenda. Because we are coming to quiz and giveaway sessions. As I mentioned earlier at the opening, we will have 6 lucky participants and 6 gifts that we will give to all of you who are staying here. And also, we will give the Astra Pay voucher for 50 participants who already joined and fill the survey satisfaction brief at the end of this event. So please make sure that you fill the survey. It is only for 50 participants. So each of participant will get 100.000 rupiah Astra Pay balance. So please make sure that you install it first. And on your Play Store or App Store. Oh, okay. Feedback form will be sent after you leave this webinar. So it will send right after that. Okay, let me start our first quiz. It is called. It is answer our question. So please, all of you, visit our website at equinix.asia/quiz/webinar. So I've already sent the link into the column comment. Okay, many people have already joined. Okay, we will wait until 4:38. Okay, please. There will be 2 winners that will win 2 Huawei smartwatch. So this quiz, the rule of this quiz is you have to answer 5 questions correctly, and the faster will get the higher score. And each question only gives 15 seconds to answer. So if you pass that 15 seconds, you're not able to go to the next questions. Okay, 1 minute left. We will be waiting. Okay, please. Wow, it's already joined a lot of participants. Please put key code 2511 as the key code to start this games. Okay. Please answer the question correctly and faster than the others because the score will depend on that. Okay. It is time. I will count down. 3, 2, 1, start. First question. even if the network protection device is disabled due to the hacker's attack, DB data is stolen. What is the content protection method that should be applied to minimize the damage? Okay, the correct answer is D. Okay, we will go to the next question. The DB table contains a lot of data, so it is not necessary to encrypt all data. How does Q1 select and encrypt sensitive personal information? Okay, the correct answer is A, and I think most of all of you have answered it correctly. Jump to the third question. Where does data in use encryption encrypt data? A, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, the correct answer is B, and the majority are answered it correctly also. Fourth question is, what product supports data in use encryption as well as data at rest encryption? A, B, C, or D? Please make sure we are closer to our two winners. Okay, the correct answer is A, and the majority are answering it correctly. And this is the last question that will become two winners and get the smartwatch. What is the most appropriate description for Cube1 access control possible items? A, B, C, or D? Hey, let's see the winners. Congratulations to Pak Mahsum Abdul Jabbar and Pak Novianto Wijaya. Each of you will get Huawei smartwatch. Okay, please. After the event, we will contact you shortly. So please make sure that you give us your contact information. Okay, let's end this game. And don't go anywhere. We have another games too. Okay, that's all for the first game. Don't go anywhere. We are moving on to the second game, but I will not be alone because I will be accompanied by my colleague, Hani. Hello, Hani.
Hello, Lukman.
Okay, Hani. So this game is called Random Pick Name. So this is actually the door prize one because one person will get LG Smart TV 32-inch. We will be using two methods. The first one is using the FDW Postgres, and we will filter 20 candidates, and then we will move to wheel of names, and we will get one luckiest participant to win the wheel of names game. Okay, Hani, could you please share your screen, or could you please explain how's the scheme of this game?
Okay, thank you, Lukman. Hello, everyone. How are you? And nice to meet you too again. I'm Hani, part of a webinar team, and I will share my screen. Okay. Do you see my screen, Lukman?
Okay.
Okay, before we starting about the random pick, today we will again do random pick games and using FDW, foreign data wrapper. As we know that FDW is one of technology which help Postgres know the external table as their internal table, and I will. In this game, we will get 20 registrant who will be lucky to follow the next wheel of name. Okay, I will log in into the database, and I will make one script. Okay, here is it.
So Honeywell, actually, we are able to pick the 20 candidates at the same time, right? But it is more dramatic if we separate it into 10 times. So we will pick 2 by 2 candidates.
Yes, every script will get 2 candidates for lucky to follow the next wheel of name. Okay. Lukman, would you please help me to count down to get
Okay.
the 2 participants?
Okay, let me count down. 3, 2, 1.
Go. Okay.
Okay, congratulations Pak Haris and Pak Hengki. Okay.
And exactly, we are able to get 20 candidates at the same times, but we will make you curious and maybe more dramatical. Okay, we do again. Okay. Congratulations for Bagas Rudi and Fani Irawan. And we start again.
So we're still populating the candidates, yeah?
Yeah.
Yes. We will choose for this stage 20 candidates and we will move to wheel of names to pick the luckiest one.
Right.
Okay, we have got 6 participants and we next to run again. And yeah, congratulations for Pak Budi Hernawan dan juga Pak Nur Homsan. Okay, next. Pak Haryanto dan Pak Julfatul Ulya. Okay, we have got 10 candidate for the next wheel of name. Congratulations. Okay. 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 Pak Budi Hernawan, we don't got. We have also get.
Because already.
Yeah.
Oh, already.
Yeah, already mentioned, yeah, Pak Budi Hernawan. So we will go with the next round.
Okay.
We try to get another. Ibu Heni, Heni Kusumawati.
And Pak Novianto also already selected, yeah, as the candidate.
Okay. We need how participant? Lukman?
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 spots left.
Okay. Okay. It's already.
Okay, Pak
Pahrul Hijriah Usman dan Pak Winto. Okay, we need 8 candidate. Is it right?
Candidate.
Yes. Okay. Let me try again. Pak Pahrul Hijriah.
Already?
Yes, already. And Bu Febri Ramadhani. Okay. Lukman, please tell me if enough for candidates.
Okay. It is 13 candidates, 7 spots left.
13, okay. Okay, we run again. Okay, Pak Hofi Atmajaya dan Fauzan Amir Al-Ghifari. Okay, kita.
It is 15 laps.
2 laps?
No. It is already 15.
Okay.
Okay.
5 against.
Bu Diah Winarni.
Pak Fikri Yusril Rijal.
Okay.
Okay, another 2. We run again. Pak Enrico Wicaksono.
Enrico Wicaksono.
Yes, congratulations. Pak Ramadhani. 3 candidates again, Lukman, is it right?
Yes, 3 candidates left.
We will get 2 and the last is 1. I think Pak Pahrul already, yeah. Okay, berarti 2, yes.
Pak Pahrul Hijriah.
Yes.
I think
yes, become a candidate. And we need 2 candidates, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, it's enough. 20 Regis run. Lukman?
Pak Johan. Okay, I think it's enough. 20 candidates have already picked. And should we move to wheel of names, Hani?
Okay. Let me prepare Wait a minute.
Okay, congratulations to 20 early candidates who will win the LG Smart TV 32-inch, please. I'm excited. I couldn't wait. Can I put my name, honey, into that game? I want to.
No. Is it not for you, not for us? I'm sorry, Lukman. Okay, wait a minute, yeah. I will prepare for the name. Okay, we have a 20 person who very lucky. I will share. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, we try the wheel opening. Do you see my screen, Lukman?
Yes.
Okay. We have 20 Pak Haris, Pak Hengki, Pak Bagas, Pak Budi, and many others. And we have, 20. We have countdown. You can count down, Lukman, for these
Okay.
audio openings.
Let me count down. 3, 2,
2,
1.
go.
We'll get the LG Smart TV.
Wow!
Pak Bagas.
Congratulations.
Are you here, Pak Bagas Rudi? If you are here, please raise your hand. Okay.
Yeah.
Bagas Rudi have already joined. Congratulations, you won the LG Smart TV. Okay, honey, we have the winner, right?
Yeah.
Pak Bagas, could you please
Maybe Pak Bagas
promote
can
him
open
list?
the camera and say something to us. Pak Bagas, okay. Hello, Pak Bagas.
Bagas, hello.
Hello, Pak Bagas. Okay.
Oh, Pak Bagas has no mic, so he can make it.
Okay,
He's
maybe
online through personal computer, so he's unable to join.
okay. I think you can next to the other.
How? Wait a minute.
Yes. Okay, Lukman, what's the next? Maybe.
Please wait a minute because there are some Pak Bagas, please could you please join through another platform because we want to hear your voice and your video as well. Please change into your smartphone maybe and join this webinar. Okay.
Okay, maybe we wait for Pak Bagas.
Okay.
Maybe he prepare for the video and also audio for
Yes,
join
Pak
us.
Bagas, please, because okay.
Okay, hello.
Pak Bagas, hello.
Okay. Okay, for other participants, please don't go anywhere. Yeah, there are another gift that we want to share to other participants, and don't forget to join us in the next webinar. We have how many webinar, Lukman, in the next?
So the next webinar will be coming on December 9th to 2020. Bagas. I think this is Pabagas.
If Pak Bagas, kinda
Pabagas, hello.
open the video and audio. Maybe we want to run the well again, Lukman.
Pabagas, hello.
Okay, we count down for 5.
Hello, Pan.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, okay.
Hello?
Halo, Pak Bagas. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay. So this is Pabagas, right?
Yeah, betul. Correct.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Maybe do you have any words or anything, something to say?
Say to Pak Thai or other.
Sebentar, nggak kedengaran.
Okay.
Headset dulu.
Okay.
So, Mr. Cha, you can speak something about the winner, please.
Halo.
Yeah, congratulations for every winner.
Thank you, Pak Kasuk Chai and team.
Yeah. You're welcome. Hello, can you say something? Hello, Lukman. Is it enough for Pak Bagas?
Mr. Chai, do you have anything to say? Or Pa?
Yeah, it is good too. And I think the best answer, two best answer winner, the lucky can choose.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lucky.
Hello. Yeah. Okay. So for the lucky.
Yeah, you can choose two best.
Yeah. I think the best questions will go to Pak Biondi and Pak Yogi.
Yeah, Pak Yogi, yeah, congratulations for the best question.
And Pak Yogi asked the best question.
Is there Pak Yogi here and Pak Biondi here? Can you raise hand or open the camera?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, hi. Congratulations.
Okay, congrats.
Okay, thank you.
And the next, the other one, Pak Yogi. Hello, Pak Yogi. Is there Pak Yogi here, Lukman?
Pak Yogi, let me see.
He's left.
Pak Yogi's.
Oh yeah.
Pak Yogi. What is his full name? Pak Yogi.
Yogi Baskara
or Yogi?
The one that question us is Pak Yogi Prayogo.
Prayogo. Sorry, Pak Yogi Prayogo.
Pak Yogi Prayogo. I think he's already left.
Yeah.
So do you have to choose another one?
I think Pak Luki can choose the other one.
Okay, so if Pak Yogi has left, okay, into the Pak Yogi. So do we still have to choose another one? Okay, so if Pak Yogi has left, I think. Pak Fauzi. Mr. Muhammad Fauzi.
Halo Pak Fauzi. Are you there? Please raise hand or you can open your camera or audio.
Pak Yogi Baskara, you're the same person with Pak Yogi.
I think
Because Pak Yogi Baskara raised his hand.
I think the different people.
Different person, yeah.
I
Yes.
think the one who asked the question is Pak Yogi
Prayogo.
Priyo Prayogo,
Yes, different people. Yes.
the one that asked the question.
Okay. So, do you still have Pak Fauzi, Muhammad Fauzi here? I think he also already left, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so if he is already left, I think the other one, we can choose Pak Winto as the best question.
Okay. Hello, Pak Winto. Can you open the camera or you can open your audio or you can raise hand? Hello, Pak Winto. I think Pak Mo and Pak Winto here, but we don't get their response, Pak.
Okay, so while waiting, perhaps Lukman or Hani can show them the gift.
Pak Winto already opened the camera.
Oh,
Winto?
Already. He is one of the panelists, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think okay. Pak Winto already you choose. Pak Biondi already you choose. So you can go next.
Hello, Pak Winto. Oh yeah. So for the best questions, we choose Pak Biondi and Pak Winto. Yeah.
Okay, congratulations for Pak Biondi and Pak Winto. And
for example, I am audience participants. I didn't know what is the gift or the prize. Can you explain?
Okay. Well, actually, I have explained earlier what is the gifts that we will give to our today's webinar. But let me share my screen, and here are the gifts. Could you please see? Could you see my screen?
yes, Lukman.
Okay, there is one smart TV and 2 smartphone for 2 best questions, and 2 smartwatch with for the 2 lucky participant who answered the questions correctly on our previous quiz. So that's all. This is the gaps that we will send.
Okay, thank you.
여보세요?
Okay,
제가 지금 저기 외국이랑 통화를 하고 있어서.
Okay, Lukman, maybe we will close this webinar, please.
Okay. Okay, please. That's all for today. Congratulations to all the winners for today's webinar. And don't forget to fill the survey satisfaction brief after you leave this webinar. There is a link that will be sent. Please type them. Please fill the survey form. And for 50 participants, we will send you a voucher through Astrape digital wallet. For your information, you can also see our next webinar through the iconics.asia/ econic.asia/webinar. You can register there for our upcoming webinar. And yeah, that's all for today. We are sorry if there are some inconvenience during the webinar. And see you again. Thank you all.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. Terima kasih all the attendees.
See you, Mr. Chai.